Hello, everyone. Welcome to Reshoot, an amateur's guide to gooder film. We are your hosts. I am Hector.
I am Ruthie.
Eduardo or Ed.
And today, Ed chose to talk about John Wick.
Wait, I chose this?
No, you chose this. Yeah, it was because you said it was like John Wick, but before you decided, it was before it was Lighthouse, and
then you were saying John Wick, and then you were like, okay,
What?
Ed, pick.
Yeah.
I thought you chose this, Ruthie.
No, I chose Joker. I also last week the three of us were talking in our group chat, and you were saying it was either going to be Lighthouse or John Wick, and you were only saying Lighthouse before.
Really?
Yeah.
What the heck? I don't remember this.
The proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the pudding, and with the premise of our podcast, this was not the best choice. They're really, honestly, for what the movie is, I wouldn't change much, if anything, at all. Really.
That's fair. It is a really good movie. It's on my top threes.
All right,
threes,
everyone,
like ever?
Yeah, just movies I like.
Oh dang.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening to the podcast. It's been a great episode once again.
I mean, I guess you guys have probably a lot more stuff than I do.
I really don't.
I just have some like compliments and things like that. Like what was I gonna say? Like I don't know if it's Keanu or just like I don't know, like the acting for some parts was very miss. Especially the one scene that sticks out to me the most is when Keanu is captured by Vigo. The one in the warehouse where he's like, people have been asking me if I'm back and I haven't really had an answer. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm back, and then he's like, get out of my way, or
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I know it's the exact one. I thought it was weird too, but I didn't know how to fix it.
I love that scene.
you're gonna die screaming with your son. Like, yeah, it's good. I like the monologue. It's just like the delivery was pretty miss.
Yeah.
Should have been more anger in his voice?
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know if he needed to be more screamy, more anger, more something, but or just like stay the cool, collected John, maybe.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't necessarily know how exactly to fix it. I think how he does it was really good. I think what would have been better is if he had started with the cool, collected, and you really see him lose it, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, he kind of does. It kind of does that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. I will say, however, the cinematography for this movie, like, apart from like the shootout scenes, it's pretty bland. There was nothing that like really stuck out to me, honestly. I mean, I like how the fight scenes are more longer shots, less cuts, so you can like see what's going on.
And they aren't shaky cam, right? I didn't notice as much like shaky.
Not shaky, but there are some very like quick cut. There are so few like quick 1 or 2 second cuts and stuff.
Yeah.
You can still tell what's happening, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can still tell what's happening. It's not Batman Begins kind of bad, but
So what kind of shots would you say would make it more interesting?
what kind of shots? I think I don't know. The shots really didn't suffer because something that we didn't talk about in Joker was like the music, which I think we should start talking about. The music kind of helped a lot with making these bland shots not be as bland, because you still had that emotional impact from like the hardcore music that they chose, which for every single scene was like just the perfect.
There was one scene I did not like, and it's actually like my least favorite scene in the movie. So I might get back to that when it's my turn, because I did notice there was one song I'm like, oh, this sounds really bad.
One now that I think about it, one shot I did like was Yusuf, when he finds Yusuf in the baths, actually, like there's a when he's revealed, like they push him over the little like little wooden thing with the towels, and then he shoots the guy that he's on top, and he sees Yusuf over there, and he like points his gun at him, and Yusuf like grabs his gun and he just stares at John. There's a really quick cut where it's like a farther away shot, and it just quickly zooms into Keanu John's face, and he had a really like the face he put on for that shot was really nice, and just like that quick zoom in, just I don't know, I feel it kind of reflected the focus that he got in that moment of like, there's my target.
Here
Yeah.
we go.
Here we go.
It's murder time.
Yeah. Also the legend sequence when Vigo's explaining to Yusuf what John Wick is, and it like does the cuts to John
So
digging up
powerful.
his That's because they stole John Wick's car and killed his dog. Oh, hangs up. That scene, like when I first saw the movie and that happened, I'm like, oh, this is weird. Nobody just reacts that way. And yeah, I don't know. I did like how the mayhem dude from the Allstate commercials is in here.
English
He's a-
Vigo, please.
Yeah, he's a pretty good actor, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, the one thing that I guess Yusuf in the bathhouses, and John's like sharpshooting everybody, headshots, like 10 or more feet away, easy. Then he shoots at Yusuf running and just misses. But I know you had something to say about it, though. That scene.
Oh, well, I mean, I thought he was. Are you talking about the scene where he like shoots the guy, looks at him, looks at Yosef as he shoots the guy?
No. The when he shooting at Yusuf in the bathhouses, and he hits all the glass and he misses.
Oh
Like,
no, I actually don't. No,
I
no, no,
thought we were
no,
talking about the bathhouse and when he's shooting the glass.
no. That actually does make sense. The glass was just kind of there to make sure he doesn't shoot him, which is kind of lame because I guess why would there be glass at a bathhouse?
Especially
it's a
bulletproof
sp-
glass.
it isn't even bulletproof. Is the thing. The bullet like it goes straight through. The glass shatters.
No, it doesn't like shatter down. It's just
No,
it's cracked.
Yeah, I think
It
that
is bulletproof glass.
It
Technically,
is.
technically it is because the glass is still standing. I think that's the cutoff.
It's just weird.
Oh, well, the last one definitely shatters. Because
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
shoots at 3, the third one shatters. I know
yeah,
this.
but like it's just, yeah, it is weird. There's bulletproof glass at a bathhouse.
I mean, it's a.
I've never been in nightclubs. I don't know.
This
I doubt. I don't know if they are.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that. I don't think they are. I think that's just more stylish for the movie.
hmm Also, it's
Yeah.
like implied to be like, if not a safe house, it's mafia affiliated.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe they have had bulletproof glass in there from before.
I'll be honest. I didn't fully get the mafia. I guess mafia owner, mafia affiliated.
Affiliated at least.
Okay, that makes sense then. But I was thinking like mafia owned. But I'm like, I don't think it was a mafia owned place. That was a place where Yosef hung out.
Yeah, no, just mafia affiliated.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. But yeah, like I think that place was called the Red Circle.
hmm
Like the colors they had and throughout that entire sequence are also really nice. I liked it. Just
Very
with
pretty.
yeah.
I wish more of the movie had stuff like that.
Yeah.
The locations
Yeah.
were kind of drab after that scene. Other than the church, after the church, the locations were a lot more drab,
Yeah.
and it makes sense. But I was just hoping I tried to fix that a bit.
Yeah. I don't
Although
know.
you're not looking for opulence when you're looking for a safe house. Let's be real.
Yeah,
Let's
but
be
like,
real.
yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
But yeah,
guess-
that's literally all I had. Like the acting just misses on some points, but I don't know. Keanu, I guess. that's just kind of his style, and it kind of works. Nothing really super uh super bad in my opinion, except for I guess like yeah, like what would I change to make the shots less bland? Uh, definitely. I don't know how to do it, but I think there could have been ways where you shoot specific shots where it really shows, like John's anger at like just the seething rage he has throughout like the entire movie. I don't know exactly how to fix that, but like
Red tint.
Is it from? Are you talking about like from his perspective, like a first person or like
not
a
a
third
first
person?
person, but like you know how in Joker, when he's in the bathroom, it
Mhm.
like goes really close, and you can kind of really tell like what he's going through and what he's thinking.
Mhm.
Like maybe not the same type of shot, but definitely like do
An
something to
equivalent.
yeah
I was thinking play around with color.
play around with color. Maybe also do like it's really nice how they shot the fight scenes, but maybe in some of the fight scenes just have a handheld cam just following him around, where he's just moving very quickly in a like more or less straight line. Because you know they talk about how John is a man of focus, uh, sheer will and commitment, to kind of just show like the focus he has and how good he is, really. Or well, they show that already, but I don't know. Maybe something more to display his seething rage from outside of acting. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Um, I guess my turn.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I had, honestly.
Right. Yeah. Again, that movie's like really good. It's really hard.
Mhm.
I think just like some of the people can't, like John shot, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah,
That
I'm sorry I did this. Apparently.
no, it's fine. It's fine. It's not bad. No, it's good. I mean,
You can blame me because I did offer it up to you because you had talked about it in the past.
Yeah, because yeah, like it's just that like the movie itself, like from a art perspective, is not great, but for what it is, it's perfect.
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
For what the movie is trying to be, perfect. Honestly.
Yeah. No, I agree. Okay, so the things I like, I just want to get that out of the way. And also, like, I guess for audience record, I freaking love this movie. It's so good. So I like Keanu's acting. Actually, he did a really good job in the beginning when he's like mourning his wife, and the "I'm thinking I'm back" scene is like that line specifically just like really like not like shivers, but like it was good. Again, the action scenes are really smooth and stylish. I think that I know some stuntmen directed the movie, and I want to say they're from the Matrix films, but I'm not sure. But they did a really good job. It shows that they were all trying their best. Also, I like the fact that Sean isn't invincible. Like even from that first fight, he took like a bit of a hit or two where he was struggling. It wasn't like because I noticed a lot of these action movies, the main dude is like, it's always easy for him. It's not, it's a power fantasy. It's like, oh yeah, look at me take out like 50 guys at once. Like this could have easily been a Steven Seagal film. Cause I mean, I haven't seen much of Steven Seagal, but like it seems like I've seen bits on YouTube and it's like, holy crap, these are terrible films. Which actually we should probably do. I think would be fun. Now let's get on to stuff I would fix. I like the gold coins. I like how it's vague, but it's a little confusing, I guess, a little bit with the economy, I guess, of how much a gold coin is worth. Because he uses like what, 3 gold coins to hire a fixers to clean up the house.
No, the it was I think it's a gold coin per body because
Yeah.
there was 12, and he had a
But
decent stack.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh, fair. But it was a coin per body.
It was either a coin per or two per. I couldn't really count the coins.
Okay, so a coin per body, but it also takes a coin to get into the bar of the Continental. So a dead body of a mook is equivalent to half a drink.
Really good booze, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, how good is this booze?
I mean, I don't think it's the booze, but it's like, because the Continental, I think, also serves just regular people, and I think that bar at the bottom is more for just the assassin
I get
underworld.
that, but like they could have been a secret code or something. I don't see why you deposit a coin to
Or
get
like
in.
you show a tattoo, because a lot of the assassins seem to have tattoos.
Exactly. So like just some tell other than, a coin, because I'm like, dang, how much is that? And also he was given a free drink. They were the compliments to the house. So I'm just like, how much does the drinks cost? Is it another gold coin? That was kind of what they were hinting at. So it's more like, again, how much does a drink cost compared to a body, And also I watched this movie with my brother and my dad, and both of them had never seen it before. And they were a little confused about the coins. And that's not something, I think, again, they're not used to this kind of movie where it doesn't explain things for you. But that their comments during did bring out that whole, like, yeah, this is a bit weird. Like, the economy on this is a bit weird. What else would I fix? Perkins, I thought could have been handled a bit better. Perkins is the assassin who is going after John. I
Yeah.
like her actor. I like her actress. She did a great job for playing an overconfident assassin, but at the same time, she does some really stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like she's like when she sneaks into John's room, once John's awake, she's like, "Oh, hi, John," or something. I forget what she says, but like, can you wait till you're attacking him before you start talking and being sassy?
Well, it was because Willem woke John up to warn him pretty much of
Yeah, I know.
Perkins breaking in.
Yeah, Marcus shot the bed. It woke John up. Yes, but by that point he couldn't see her yet, and
No,
she
but he
started
did.
talking.
He did. No, he rolled out of bed from the shot because they didn't know what was going on. And when he looked at the door, he saw Perkins. Perkins actually shot at him and missed.
Mm,
Yeah. So
okay.
honestly, Perkins' character is only there just for just to show like what happens if you break the continental rules. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. That was also my other thing is like she goes to the Continental meeting, like, oh yeah, it's been revoked. Like, you think she'd be more aware that this is potentially a trap? Like, could maybe there've been if they've hinted before, like through little whispers and like the subtitles, like, oh man, do you hear what happened to the last guy who broke the rules? Or like,
It doesn't seem like people like break the rules often, man.
exactly. So like, maybe just like, oh, remember this guy? Yeah, he broke the rules. Oh, I wonder what happened to him. Just maybe a comment while John's
I don't know.
walking to the bar. I don't know.
Maybe.
I usually am against exposition like that. I think this is a pretty good way to just show what happens instead of
Alright.
talking about it.
Alright, fair. It seems
Yeah, like they kind of do an exposition on what John Wick is, but it is handled very well.
yeah, no, because it's less just it's not just exposition, they show it. Because it's
Yeah,
like,
they also
oh,
show it.
everyone reacts to him. He's the Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
Baba Yaga. But yeah, I don't know. I guess my biggest two complaints then, and these were all minor, but the location after the church scene kind of sucked. Like when they're fighting in that that parking lot area, because it was drab. Because like beforehand we had the bathhouse / dance club, which I don't know if you guys noticed, but when he's in the dance club, his shots match the music, which was
Oh, really? They match the beats?
I noticed it matched the beats a lot, and that was really cool. And I want more of that in my action movies. It's stupid. It's probably costs way too much time and energy to get right. I love it.
Yeah, and come to think of it, a lot of the dancers didn't actually notice the gunshots immediately because it was timed with the music.
Mm-hmm. And also really loud, and people were so close. Yeah. The bullets were on beat. It's really cool. I don't know. I wish there was more of that. And I'm not gonna be and reshoot. I'd say maybe have one more moment, but at the same time, it was so special. I don't want to keep like overdoing it until it gets stale. So like I said, in like the location after the church when they're in that parking lot, I also hated the music so much for that scene. I can't think. I racked my brain. No, not the club. The the after the church when John finds Vigo
Oh,
the first
okay, yeah.
time. I hate the music and I hate the it was like this kind of like country rock style music from what I remember it. And
It
I'm
wasn't
sure
like the Marilyn Mason one.
was it Marilyn Mason?
The
Man,
We're Killing Strangers.
I can't remember. I didn't like it. Not the part. No, it's not the part where he escapes. It's right before, right when he gets captured.
Oh, gotcha.
That music, that's the song in that part. Just kind of, it was so bad. I don't remember. It was nothing special, but it was just. It took me out of the movie, and it was like the closest it felt to like something that would be in a Steven Seagal film, which I feel bad saying, but I don't know. The scene was all right. The choreography in that scene is all right. I don't like the location. I had a different idea for that scene. So what about the car workshop where he's with his where he's with his friend, he had that friend who was like, "Oh yeah, the car mechanic." So maybe the mechanic's being held by gunpoint by, one of them, and he has to call John and tell him it's, that to come to the car shop, like, "Hey, Yosef's scared of you. He returned the car. He's hoping that's a good enough to get you to stay the hell away from him because he's scared." But, maybe he gives John a hint to like a special wording that it's a trap. Because like, remember there was that one scene where John is talking to the bouncer of the club and he's like, "Have you lost weight?" He's like, "Yeah, I lost about 60 pounds." And the 60 was the right way of, was the word, which was done really cool with the subtitles, by the way. I love that.
Yeah.
And then so maybe a scene like that. So then, maybe not have the music match a scene, but if you want to do that again one more time, I think a car workshop where they're usually playing like some other genre of music would be really fun, playing around with the genres a bit. You don't have to, but it's just something I kind of am a sucker for. And I guess my last complaint is that Vigo should not have been able to land a single hit on John, no matter how injured he was in that final fight. John was already injured in that final fight. He hit him like twice or three times, and I'm like, this seems a little
sus.
He's a little sus. Vigo vented. No, but no, like Vigo is an older Russian mob boss. Why?
Yeah.
As we know, the Russian mob bosses are the slowest of them all.
Oh, we're gonna have the actual mob after it. No, but yeah, I don't know. He's an older man. Keanu is just barely into retirement.
I mean, he did say he was rusty.
Yes, but by that point, he'd already been fighting for like 2 or 3 days. But he'd been fighting for a bit.
Well, that might have also been a point in Vigo's favor because, like, John had been fighting all day and like had almost died from the suffocation of the bag.
Fair. Oh, yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just thought like, even then, I was just kind of thinking like maybe to make it a little bit better, just maybe hint that Vigo was a good fighter in his prime. Maybe like he raises, not even by saying it, I don't want exposition, but like maybe he gets pissed off and he like puts his fist up for a second out of reflex and like one of his mooks runs away or takes a few steps back, like, "Oh shit, not again." Or maybe when instead of Vigo in a pool in the first scene we see him in when he gets the phone call, maybe he's practicing boxing with like another guy.
Oh yeah, that would have been a good introduction.
I'm kind of thinking of a Netflix documentary where about the mob.
Right.
There was this old ex mob guy. He was not a capo, but he was just like a random mook. But he was like not mook. It's not associate. He one of the soldiers, and he was like boxing in the beginning, and it gave you the impression that he was a tough man. Even not just, I mean, if he's good now, imagine back in his prime, right? It was a solid way, and it was in a documentary. And I'm just like, why not have Vigo like practice boxing in the beginning? It shows that he's a tough man. And also it makes his son look like even more of a wimp. Because here's this old man practicing and like, still keeping him in shape, and his son's just partying his life away.
Yeah.
That's my last. That's all I have to really say. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I especially like the last one. I think you have some good points.
Yeah, I never actually thought about that. How like the fight at the end should have been just like completely one-sided. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Unless they they do what you suggested and maybe set up that Vigo is still a very tough person.
Next.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. As I said last week, this is one of my top 3 movies. I really like it. I don't want it to make it sound like I don't like it, because I do have a lot. But it is explicitly because I like it. I want to make it better. I don't know if I have to like go through what I like about it. I'm just gonna jump right in. The thing that frustrated me the most is I've seen this movie like 4 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really confusing how long John has been in retirement, because they verbally confirm several times it's only been 5 years. However, Yosef is like, his actor was like 29 at the time, and he's implied to be in his late 20s, but he doesn't know John Wick at all. And it seems like all the world building places John Wick having retired much, much earlier in his life, and that he's had such a bigger impact, and that has frustrated me. And Vigo's character was a little weird because he seems super emotionally intelligent. Yeah, why does he only contact John after Yosef fucked up? Why didn't he send any condolences after John's wife died?
I have something to say about that.
Hmm?
I figured out out of respect of like, hey, even contacting him might bring him back into the life somehow.
I considered that too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they had already parted ways, and it's been like 4 or 5 years. But yeah, like Yusuf not knowing who John is at all, I think does kind of make sense because you mentioned like Vigo's just kind of like he runs everything, and Yusuf just goes off partying.
And
Like-
committing various crimes for his dad.
That was
Oh yeah,
mentioned-
that's right. He went to
He
like
is
Atlanta
involved-
or something.
Yeah, Atlantic City, and he
Oh
like
yeah, Atlantic City.
did some kind of murder, it sounds like, or
Yeah.
some kind of violence.
Some kind of assassination of some sort. Yeah, I don't know.
Also, third thing before I forget, the scene with him in the car at the airport, I don't like that it has the dog, that he had brought the dog to the airport with him. I feel like that should have happened earlier in the film, because first of all, this puppy is riding shotgun with no seatbelt. At least it's implied no seatbelt, and he's going like 80, 90. He's going super fast. Dogs, like even on like the upholstered, like not the leather seating, the like generic stuff, they still slip and slide a lot. Source, I have had dogs. Can you imagine a tiny puppy on a leather seat? It's a puppy cannon. John had the windows down.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I agree with that. They should. They
Sorry, give me a sec. I'm just imagining this dog just
puppy
like
cannon.
Yeah, just
like, oh, it's kind of like, oh man.
so.
No, but
But
yeah,
that's
that makes sense to definitely put that early in the movie, like to, because yeah, you can really show a little bit more of just like how hard it is for him to grieve alone, because that is a
Exactly.
thing he mentions when he's captured, like that the dog was there to kind of help him grieve on alone.
Mhm.
I
And
was
think that-
worried.
Mhm.
No, sorry, keep going. I thought you were done.
No, I'm just saying that, like, yeah, that airport scene with the driving the car could have been showing just how hard it is for him to grieve alone at that moment. So maybe do that before the puppy
Yes.
thing.
I thought you were gonna say to get rid of the car scene, and I'm like, you better not. I
No,
don't even like car scenes like that often, but like it was really impressive. So don't.
no,
Yeah.
It was-
just
And-
like literally, because like you say he brought the dog with him, but I don't remember seeing the dog at all during
The-
the driving.
No,
Probably 'cause
the
it's too
dog's not
dangerous.
shown during the driving, because the dog would not have survived the driving that John does. They show the dog get in the car with John. They show I can't remember if the gas station. I think it's before. They show the puppy in the gas
The
station.
gas station, yeah.
yeah.
So what did he do with the dog? He didn't leave it with the guy, the security
No,
guy.
it was with him because
Yeah.
as soon as the car stopped
Then
after
it
he
cuts
nearly
to the
crashes,
puppy.
it's him and the puppy still there.
Exactly. So it makes no sense.
Also, I do like how he got into an airport. Like, he has so much cred. He can just get into an airport. Like, I
Yes.
thought that was
Yeah.
clever.
Okay. So here's what my rewrite looks like. So the movie begins as normal up until where he's in the bathroom. When he's in the bathroom and he's realizing like that he's like actually alone for the first time in like 5 years, like his wife is gone, have him like start to lose it, have him like start to feel emotions, and then have him immediately retreat to the car. He immediately goes to the airport, and that's like the car is his happy place. That's the only thing he has left. He's going to use the airport scene. It also establishes like those little like, wait, how the fuck did he get into like an airport? This is like a restricted zone. How did he do that? He's like friends with the security guard. Is he going to come in later?
My brother was wondering stuff like that because he was like, how is John rich?
Mm-hmm.
And then like, because somehow my brother went into this movie completely blind, even though he played hell of a lot of Fortnite in the past. And it was really fun watching that movie through his eyes. But yeah, that's the thing. Like the movie does a really good job before the reveal that he was an assassin.
Yeah. Okay. So the movie continues to play. I want Vigo to be somehow involved in the funeral or in that the funeral after party thing. And it can be as simple as he sends flowers with a symbol, or he sends flowers, right? Like just some of those like white lilies that you send to people when somebody dies. And on the little note card that the florist always puts, there's like, let's say, an omega symbol, the upside down horseshoe. And John sees it, and he grimaces because it brings back these memories that we don't see yet. Maybe he crumples the note. Or it could even be as he's heading to the car, as I mentioned earlier, his answering machine goes off, and he takes one look at the number, pulls out the answering machine before he can even get the message. He's avoiding somebody.
Oh, that's good.
Keep in mind, the two themes of this story are the loneliness one feels after loss and don't bite the hands that feed.
I didn't even catch the second one. It makes sense in like retrospect, but like I didn't put into words. Good.
So now that we've established that Vigo, or we could even also have like Vigo having shown up to the funeral itself and have him be like in the background, and he's just like, yeah, I'm not even going to talk to John. I'm just going to peace out. Not as popular, I know.
I like the fact that Marcus was there because it does set up the friendship they have and the fact that Marcus.
Oh, totally. Well, I wasn't going to say like get rid of Marcus. I was going to say keep Marcus, but like Vigo's secretly in the background, and if you watch it enough times, you'll see him.
Okay, that's fair because I was thinking like don't put any emphasis on Vigo because my dad nearly fell asleep to the first bit of the movie. I think you're starting to wonder why the hell would Hector recommend this for me and my brother. And then. But yeah, I guess if he's in the background, that would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And later, when Yosef meets up with Vigo for the first time, he can now ask, how did the boring-ass funeral go? Vigo looks visibly upset, but is trying to keep it together because that's John Wick. Yosef maybe scoffs at the idea of an assassin at a funeral. And again, we see the Vigo in Fury's eyes, and maybe his mouth twitch in disgust, and then he can lay into Yosef about what happened at the car shop. Like, this is a little bit later.
Oh, I see.
Keep in mind, in this version, Yosef will have maybe, he either remembers the stories of John Wick, or perhaps he's, like, seen him once, but he is aware of John Wick's existence and his impact on Yosef's life. Somehow. Not much, but enough.
I think that Yusuf should have at least heard of him, because he does, like, see, like, face to face John Wick, and if he would have seen him before, he would have known not to fuck with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Face to.
I think he just also to not know the names, like maybe he's just familiar with the term Baba Yaga. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Next, after the mugging happens, I think I would change what happens here because I'm gonna be real. I haven't decided if I want the dog, Daisy, to actually die because of what Daisy represents. And I know what you're thinking. Ruthie is an animal lover. Ruthie's an optimist. She's lame. She doesn't want to just see the dog die. I know that you're thinking it. I know both of you are thinking it.
I just think Ruthie's lame.
I know.
I wasn't thinking that. I'm just thinking, what's the motivation to go on this rampage then?
Yeah, that's my actual thought. Like, I think the dog, as much as I hate to say it, because I actually don't like the little dog yell as he's being murdered. It hurts to hear.
Mhm.
I think the dog dying is necessary for this story.
Well, here's my reasoning on why Daisy shouldn't die. Daisy represents the hope to move forward after this loss. So, personally, I am of the belief that Daisy should live because, I don't know, I'm a sucker for stories of hope. It seems weird that John I had this.
This isn't that kind of story, though.
Fair enough.
Like, I get what you're saying. I get it. You want John to have a happy ending, but the whole point is that this life sucks you back in, no matter one way or another, even if it's destiny, which this movie kind of has a little, I think, subtext towards. Or
Yeah.
maybe it's just because I read I also watched, or sorry, I read JoJo Part 6, which had destiny playing a bit of a part. So maybe I could be having some influence from that, but I did catch a bit of a destiny subtext there, especially when Vigo and John are talking when he captures John.
Mhm.
This movie isn't hopeful. It's the fact that you might win, but it's going to cost you,
I know.
and you are going to be sucked back in. You stare long enough into the abyss, it's gonna reach right back.
I know that. I certainly know that. And I'm not trying to turn this into happy, fun, donkeys never die flick. It's mostly just because this movie has such a real portrayal of grief. I don't
All right.
with what the dog represents. Like, you could even look at the story and say, like, all the bits with John and the mob are not actually John literally fighting the mob, and it's John facing his demons, dealing with his grief.
Okay.
The cigar is not a cigar.
Yeah.
And if you do look at it like that, at least in my opinion, let the dog live. I did have a way to have it so, like, the way he's talking about his dog dying, everyone else talking about his dog dying, technically is true. It's that he took his dog to it. The whole thing was, like, when he's cradling the dog, we see him, like, pick the dog up, carry the dog out the door, we cut, and then it skips burying the dog scene, goes to the car shop, with some time having passed. What happens in that time skip is John goes to an animal hospital, and he doesn't know if Daisy's going to live or not.
Okay, I see what you mean.
I'm kind of like, I had this all organized by time.
No, I see what you're saying. I get what you mean. I really do respect what you're trying to do, and I can see that you really worked hard on making sure it doesn't change the themes or the setting or the tone, because and you still have a reason for John to be angry.
Yeah.
I completely respect that. For context, for people who are listening who don't know any of us, Ruthie has only seen John Wick 1. I've only seen up to 2. I don't know if Ed has seen 3.
I have seen 3.
Okay, I've been wanting to see 3, but
I don't know if I want to see 2 or 3.
Again, I just think of them as spin-offs, like offshoots. They don't have to be connected. They're really good. 2's really fun. Like, it's not as good as 1, but, like, it is a gorgeous.
Yeah, 2 is not as good as 1. 3 is not as good as 2.
But they are gorgeous.
That's my opinion.
They are gorgeous movies to look at, though.
Yeah.
Or at least 2 is very gorgeous. Like, again, I love the style and substance, the style of 2 a lot. I know it has its flaws, but it's really fun to look at.
Yeah, 2 is definitely, I don't know. The story, like, it's not as good as 1.
Oh no.
But the story I really liked from 2.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, they had a bigger budget and they spent it very well. They knew it was a perfect, like, again, I'm not gonna go over this because I don't want to distract, but yeah, just because I feel like some people are gonna listen. It's like, wait, doesn't 2 go over some stuff that Ruthie went over? But
yeah, haven't seen 2. I don't know if I want to see 2. So for this analysis, assume I have not seen 2.
Yeah.
Okay. My next point. I think Perkins would have been better if Perkins was not someone John knew 5 years ago. If Perkins was a new element. She's noticeably younger than all the other assassins. Like, all of them seem to be in their late 30s at the youngest. Like, Willem Dafoe's like in his 50s or 60s or something. He's an older guy. John's like in his mid 40s. Hank or Henry, he's also on the older side. They all tend to run a little older. Perkins is a little bit younger. And her reckless behavior also leads me to believe she's not nearly as experienced. So I just want to kind of highlight that a little bit. So in my version, she's an up-and-comer who's looking to be the next John Wick. She's the next wave of assassins.
Yeah. I think the movie was already hinting at that but
in my version, she's never met John Wick.
No,
Yeah,
I
you know that I like that a lot. I actually like that a lot because
No.
then you could work that in with 2 and 3 with like newer assassins because she's willing to break the rules of the Continental.
Exactly.
So
she doesn't
maybe-
have the reverence that all the other assassins have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would fix.
That's really interesting.
Yeah,
I like
and that would fix my issue with her character at some points. Like, I really like her character. She's a fun character. I just don't think she was handled as well
Mhm.
as she could have.
Yeah. Like I was telling you before, I tried to fix her.
Yeah.
So first time we and John sees her, she's standing in front of him in the Continental. She can't stop sneaking glances at him, and he's kind of uncomfortable because he doesn't like being looked at. So, he's kind of like shimmying uncomfortably. And finally, she just turns around. She starts going off. I don't know exactly what she'd say, but she's just like, wow, you're the John Wick. You're so good at killing people. I so want to be like you. Just like that kind of conversation. And here he is. He's not back in the game yet. He's like, what? Huh? No, please stop. I'm not. Who's John Wick?
I don't think
making him basically she's meeting her hero, and John Wick is super uncomfortable with this conversation.
Fair, but I don't think him saying like is in character.
That's me interpreting it.
Oh,
John
okay.
Wick is a very silent character, and it's not great for podcasts for me to try and imitate that.
Okay, I see what you mean now. Yeah.
Yeah. So the end result is that she leaves, and John is really flustered, and Carry On, the front desk guy, informs that John, she's Miss Perkins. And is that a hint of disdain in his voice? Kind of hard to tell. Then later, when in the bar, we see her get that alert and she gets really excited. It also adds this element of, I get to kill my hero? I get to be a better assassin than John Wick? Goody.
I think it'd be more interesting is if maybe she gets the thing, but it's like a quick thing in the background, like you were saying earlier about like Vigo in the background. It's her in the background. Just you can maybe see her, like maybe while John is talking to someone else, she just looks at her phone and then she puts it down and she's like, "Ooh, target."
Yeah, it might even be like John's walking in front of the camera and Perkins is like right behind him, and you see her holding the camera up. He walks by, the phone is lowered very noticeably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Later on in the church scene, it seems like the stuff that he was burning in the church, it was implied, at least to me, that was the quote-unquote impossible task that Vigo had set up for John.
It wasn't.
I think it was, though. Because Vigo talks about it being very important, how it's a lot of bribes, it's how he has a lot of influence in the city. It's not even just about the money, it's about what else was in there. Secrets. And then before, what did Vigo tell Yosef?
That
the bodies he buried that day.
Set the foundation of what we are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when John burns it, cut to Helen's face.
Oh, okay.
And with the Dog Lives storyline, if you do want to keep that in, it's somewhere between the showdown of the abandoned building and killing Yosef. At some point between that, we do see John like get some kind of text or phone call, and then cut to whatever scene. Just like quick, oh, he got a phone call. Next, Perkins' death. I also thought that made no sense So here's how I would fix it. I think that John should have been working with the Continental. I think he should have lured her. Not even like necessarily on purpose. It's just like, hey, the conversation behind the scenes would have been something like, hey, Perkins is on your trail. We're going to deal with her. Can you like walk through the city to this location? And then we can like deal with her. And he's like, yeah, sure. So John, or at least a facsimile of John maybe, walks her to the place. And that's when Winston is there. And he's like, your membership with the Continental has been revoked. Makes a little bit more sense because she walked right into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes can we still keep the shot where the 4 assassins come out, shoot her, and then quickly leave?
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's a really good shot.
That was such a good shot. No, I really liked that.
Ed, you're a resident expert on cinematography. What do you think of that shot?
Where Perkins dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, it was good. Again,
like with the 4 assassins like in tandem almost.
My only issue with that is maybe 3, so they don't because they can shoot each other.
Yeah, 4's a crowd, or 3's a crowd, 4's a heap, at least 1 injury.
And then they were standing on opposite corners, and they were just
if they missed
crossfire.
Yeah.
If they miss, or they just use a higher caliber bullet that isn't hollow point, just go straight through her fucking skull, maybe.
Yeah.
Could you get away with 5? Would 5 work?
Hexagon is the bestagon.
But then you have the same problem, right?
But hexagon is the bestagon.
Just how I can be ridiculously keep this going.
Obviously, we need a dodecahedron of assassins to murder Perkins.
I mean, her ego maybe, but
yeah. We need 6 assassins on her, murdering her physically. We need just 6 random women to bash Perkins' like physical characteristics.
Yeah, I don't know, but outside of that, just like the weird like crossfire thing that's happening there, it was pretty good. I like the symmetry of it.
Yes.
Because symmetry.
Yeah,
and I guess that's why they were 4, to keep the symmetry going.
Because it was also pillars.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they did that a couple times actually. They had shots where it was perfect symmetry, and I'm like, is this a Wes Anderson movie?
I've only seen Grand Budapest Hotel.
Well, all those other movies are also really, really good.
Really
Fantastic Mr. Fox is so good.
I'll watch that one. Okay.
But Grand Budapest Hotel, in my opinion, is his best movie. Because I've seen all of them except for Bottle Rocket, I think, and Rushmore.
I don't even think I've heard of that.
No, just Bottle Rocket. I've seen Rushmore though.
Okay. But yeah, my final point was basically, if we are to keep the Daisy Lives scenario, the place that John ends up in is, instead of being like a kill shelter for dogs, it's an animal hospital for dogs. It's the same place he went to before. He patches himself up, or he has a very nervous vet tech do it for him. He picks up Daisy. Daisy's like all wrapped up. She's okay. Very cute.
So with this, you would the audience is led to believe that Daisy is dead, or like just
up until the last point. Okay. Then like the dog is alive, injured but alive.
Yeah.
She's gonna make it.
Okay.
Right. I guess.
Because up until John gets the phone call, he assumes that Daisy is going to die. That was my whole thing. And I don't know, if you want to keep the pit bull at the very, very end, you can also say that he sees the pit bull was left after a hit and run type deal. He's like, I'll take that one too. And he's got more things to love. And it fits the theme better.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I see what you mean.
I win. That is
Short
my edit
episode?
of John Wick. Yeah, short episode.
It's been an
Short
hour.
episode.
It's been an hour.
The other one was like
Oh,
an hour 12 minutes.
I know, but
Yeah.
and editing is gonna cut it down. Is the thing.
Whatever happens,
So-
happens. Que sera, sera.
Queso,
Que sera, sera.
queso, Sarah.
It is what it is.
I know what it means.
If
I'm
he
just-
lives, he lives.
I know what it means. I'm just a gringa. Queso, Sarah.
Gringa. Gringa.
Hector,
So yeah.
it's your turn. What are your top picks for choices? Because I know you and I looked at a couple different ones. What are your top picks?
The Last Lovecraft. No,
Oh,
no.
why do you hate me? Please.
Wait, what?
There's this movie
Hector-
called The Last Lovecraft, and it's the
awful.
stupidest. It looks, but it looks like it knows what it's doing.
It
It's
knows what
self-aware.
it's doing, but it still bothers me
Yeah.
deeply.
Give me a second. Let me
We can find the.
give me a bit of time, and then I'll go get back to you, and we can just add it on post.
Okay, I'll. It's a
Yeah.
doozy.
Okay, yeah, I don't know, like, yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, movies that I've seen that are, like, sea level kind of stuff.
Give me. Is there any that you and I have both seen, other than maybe do you only see?
Also-
The
wait,
the first
wait.
thing that came to my mind just now is Valerian.
Oh, I've heard of that one. Let me look at it first, and then. Oh, by the way, we should review. We were going to give the movie a score.
Oh, right. We completely forgot to grade.
The movie's a very
Oh.
high. Movie's A, just a flat out A. It knows what it's doing. It does it near perfectly. It's an A.
Yeah, same.
I think I'm legally obligated to say A plus because I did say it's one of my top 3 movies.
Yeah.
I give it an A also. I mean, this one's hard for me because, like you mentioned, I'm a connoisseur of film, and this is not very artsy. It's just like an action movie, but like it's a lot of fun to watch. Definitely.
It really is. And what
I also
always
want to say that it's not like sorry for interrupting, but it's not the setup is what makes this movie, I think, mostly. Just the 30 minutes of just following John doing his things.
Mhm.
Because you actually like get to understand the character and what he's going through, and I don't know. There's a lot more emotion in this than like, movies like Die Hard or whatever.
My
absolutely.
dad was very tired, and he almost fell asleep at that point.
I know,
And,
but
and
like,
then the action scene came in. He's like, "Oh, what?" And then
yeah, a third of this movie is literally just John going about his life.
And you love it. What I was
Yeah.
going to say earlier was, as ridiculous as the premise sounds on paper, it works really well. Like if you were to approach
Yeah.
somebody in 2014 and be like, Keanu Reeves is going to star in a movie where his dog dies and then he goes on a murder rampage, and people will think, what?
first
I'm going to pay to watch that? And
For-
then in 2015, like, I paid to watch that. That was good stuff.
when I
Yeah.
saw the trailer in theaters the first time, a lot of people were laughing at it.
Today's film was John Wick, directed by Chad Stahelski and David Leitch. The writer was Derek Kolstad, and the cinematographer was Jonathan Sella. Go show some love to their various social media accounts, or just send some good vibes their way. They made a movie, which is more than we can say here. If you have enjoyed this episode or the previous one, consider sharing with friends and loved ones. If you hated listening to us, perhaps share with a nemesis, and also kudos for listening until the credits. We appreciate you either way. Thank you. Next week, join us as we watch The Bye Bye Man.